Chapter 834. Yes, but it's not just a distant relation through a branch family, as I initially thought. It's much deeper. Nahan is the illegitimate child of the current Duke of Honi. At last, Yidhir understood why Kana deemed it crucial to convey this information, even in such an urgent moment. Is this information confirmed by the Duke of Honi's side? Not yet. However, the information from first Princess Myra alone seemed sufficient for proof. Yidhir's eyebrows twitched slightly. This meant that Myra had made a choice that an ordinary noble would not, even at the risk of death. Before Myra, both Revlin and Cruel had made similar choices, but the situations then and now were similar yet different. The previous two had a new path as awakened members of the cavalry after overthrowing their corrupt families. For them who wanted to leave their families, it was a better path than before. But not for Myra. Her goal was always to remain in her family and become the next Duchess. The cavalry couldn't protect her, with her being a non-awakener as surely as the previous two. Considering Myra's future, it was more beneficial not to honestly hand over the information to the cavalry. Or, if she did, it was typical to negotiate several conditions for secrecy before indirectly giving a hint. Even that would have been a fair deal since it wouldn't have taken long to uncover the truth. Yet, she chose to honestly disclose the information without any compensation. She must be refusing to shrink responsibility. It was rare for someone to choose that path, knowing it could be disadvantageous for their future. Therefore, Yidhir was genuinely amazed by this honest choice. As Yidhir pondered, Kana continued speaking. Regarding another illegitimate sibling mentioned in Hosanna's story, it seems first Princess Myra doesn't know. From the information I have read, the Honi family had so many illegitimate children that it was common, making Nahan's case peculiar, being raised in captivity despite being a southern descent bastard. Kana added that this might be because Nahan's mother was presumed to be of high status in the south. An illegitimate child between Duke Honi and the southern country's aristocracy, certainly someone they would want to eliminate or prevent from escaping the family. Nahan's mere existence could be a scandal capable of dragging Honi's prestige through the mud. It seems Hosanna knows Nahan is from the Honi family, but Nahan probably doesn't. Before coming here, I asked First Princess Myra to look into people related to Nahan's past. Understood. Is that all you have to report? Just that Hosanna looked really bad when First Princess Myra briefly encountered him. That would be... Yes, probably because he used too much power during his escape. I heard he exerted enough strength to break a suppression device. After saying this, Kana bit her lip and murmured almost in a sigh. I should have made sure he couldn't go outside at all when I wasn't there. I was too complacent. As much as Kana, the reader of the information, knew that despair and regret won't help immediately, and although she appeared similar to usual on the outside, it couldn't be the same on the inside. Realizing she hadn't properly detected her child's intention to escape, and the warning signs must have been a severe shock. Originally, Yidhir had planned to leave immediately upon hearing the information. But upon seeing Kana's slightly trembling, firm lips, Yidhir found himself unable to simply walk away. He exhaled softly and began to speak. If that's the case, then I should do more. Why you, Yidhir? You just managed to hold off the siege, and now, with the commander handling Nahan on the other side, everything should end well, right? ... No? Of course, Kana thought this way because she didn't know that Yidhir was aware of the future. Well, Yidhir was a man who possessed more information than anyone else. He had predicted the internal strife among the Star of Nagran and knew how it would unfold and what end they would meet. Yet he had not foreseen that the sage and Nahan would confront each other like this today. The same was true for the danger posed by Hosanna. Despite being the most knowledgeable about the abilities of the awakeners present, he had judged it highly unlikely for Hosanna's powers to recover any further. Kana's complacency was in effect his own for entrusting her with Hosanna and leaving. But saying that would only make Kana feel worse. He had felt the future he knew diverting from reality since the West, but the deviation had intensified since the day of the unusual crack in the South, and today was the pinnacle of that. The confrontation between the sage and Nahan had gone not too badly. The crown prince, who could have been a significant obstacle, was dealt with early by Gakane, a stroke of unexpected luck. Ever had contributed new technique to the cavalry, and so far no one had been seriously hurt. But all these were far from the events either had anticipated and prepared for. Good or bad, everything was full of variables. Known and unknown elements were mixing together. The future seemed as uncertain as sleet that was neither rain nor snow, growing worse rather than better. Could he really be sure that his actions and choices today were the best possible paths he could have taken? No, Yudhar, please don't do this right now, right here. We will do this later at drinks, in bed, somewhere, please, not right now. Yudhar swallowed all these thoughts and spoke plainly. Anyway, the commander would have likely given a positive assessment just for the fact that neither you nor the other members were hurt during Hosanna's escape. That's certain. Is that so? If he had escaped, we would just capture him. That's why we are here. That's true. Finally, Kana smiled genuinely. Yes, so. It was at that moment, before Yudhar could finish his sentence, an immense pressure, as if the entire space being compressed, was felt from somewhere. A sensation as if an invisible force was beating both the sky and earth swept through, followed by a fierce wind and screams. What is? Instinctively exerting his strength, Yudhar protected his colleagues within his line of sight and supported Kana, who nearly fell while staggering. Just now, that was. Was it the aftermath of the power emanating from where Kishir was? Wait, that is too much. What the freaking hell is happening? Without a second thought, Yudhar looked around and shouted loudly. I will go to where the commander is. Be prepared for any sudden changes. As he finished speaking, a golden light burst from his left eye. Responding to his intention to find the connected party, multiple threads of fate extended in all directions. Yudhar propelled himself off the ground, sprinting towards the destination indicated by the golden threads. Kishir is not alone. Gakane and Kurga are there too. And above all, the enemy is not in a good state. It won't be an easy opponent, but our side is much more advantageous. He knew all too well how strong they were, having seen their might firsthand. Yudhar Ale, even from his previous life, considered them beings difficult to defeat, regardless of his actions. Even if Kishir couldn't fully utilize his power, he was already formidable, and now his vessel had recovered incomparably more than before. Losing would have been the real surprise. He knew this, but still, he couldn't be at ease without seeing it with his own eyes. As he ran unhesitatingly, following the guidance of the golden thread, the wind and sleet striking his body intensified. Nonetheless, the intangible thread didn't lose its light, allowing him to advance without difficulty and finally reaching his destination. ... What is this? Yudhar stopped in his tracks, staring at the massive black curtain unfolding before them. It was essentially a black wall, obscuring everything inside. However, as he calmed his surprise and looked closely, he realized that the guiding golden thread led into it. And this curtain itself feels somehow familiar. He reached out, touching it lightly, and then it dawned on him. This is Gakane's shadow. He had never seen it display like this before, so it was hard to be certain just by sight. But it was unmistakable. It was indeed Gakane's shadow that he had seen so often during their long training sessions. He could use it in this way. Okay, I feel like Kishir's vessel is giving me a heart attack every time it is being mentioned. To be honest, even I'm as anxious as you there whenever Kishir is out of my sight. I really want to know what is happening and what his current situation is because I am genuinely freaking out. And we need to fix his vessel. I don't care how we do it. I think that should be the next arc.